We are live. We're testing out a new view today.
So if you swipe over and bring that comment view up.
What's good, guys? Prairie Parlay, what up, bro? What up, Dodger man? Let's hit him. It's a bounce back week. Alves money line, I like it. Plus 145. Oh, you see it's cut off on there? Cool. Fly, Eagles, fly. Appreciate you, bro. This is the studio. You like Kaikar France today? I got Brandon Moreno by decision, and I love Kaikar France normally. Who do I use to edit videos? I have about 6 or 7 different part-time editors, but we film in pretty high production now in a studio in South Florida. City Kickboxing gets it done. Thank you, David. Thank you. Thank you, sir. This TikToker bet 125,000 on the under Brandon Moreno versus Kai Kara France fight. That is so ballsy. I think that fight goes a distance. The over-under is 4.5 rounds. So we're betting all underdogs in the NFL this season. Correct. Yep, we're going to be going every dog on the money line the whole season, the whole way through. Where did you find them or already knew them? What are you talking about? Oh, the editors. I just put up some social media posts, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Told them to reach out, and they emailed me. G God, you're gonna join in on that? Let's go. Do me a favor and either follow me on Twitter at Matty Betts or just go in my bio and shoot me a text. That way you'll be able to get updates on the underdogs. The most important thing on taking the underdog all season is timing of when you're taking them and then where you're taking them, making sure you're getting the best possible price point. Love Brandon Moreno by decision. How can Kai Kara France win? Yeah, I think Kai's only path to victory, realistically, is a knockout. So, and that's why I like Brandon Moreno. I think he's just a mismatch. He's a matchup nightmare for Kai Kara France. And I bet Kai Kara France his last 2 fights. I took him as an underdog his last fight, and I took him to get a knockout in the fight before, and I hit both those bets. And I just feel like right now, this is just a bad matchup for him. Brandon Moreno is coming off of 3 straight 5-round fights. We know he's got a great chin, and I just feel like he's going to inch out a decision. But Kai can obviously win with his knockout power, but Davison Figueiredo couldn't. It's just Figueiredo against Moreno. Like Moreno was able to survive. I just don't see Kai Kara France knocking him out. And Moreno's got the reach advantage. He's got great footwork. I just think he coasts to maybe a 3 rounds to 2 decision win, maybe even 4 rounds to 1. I think Kai Kara France wins that first round, though. I did not bet. No, I didn't bet LFA. How many total strikes landed in Brandon Moreno, Kai Kara France? I don't know. What's the over-under on that on DraftKings? This other guy has 50,000 on Pena. That's a crazy bet. It's like plus 230. That's a crazy bet to bet $50,000 against Amanda Nunes, the goat, the female goat of the UFC. Takes a lot of balls. Is my UFC card out? Yes, it's on Twitter at Matty Betts. Just go to the link in my TikTok bio if you want to check it out there. Kai is faster than Moreno. I don't know about that. I think it's pretty close. It's very hard. Yes, it's very hard to knock out Brandon Moreno Congrats on the opening of the restaurant. Thank you, City Boy. I appreciate that. Parlay lock. No such thing as a parlay lock. I did give out on my Twitter a prize picks entry. It's a two-leg. It's a two-legger. Let me pull it up real quick. If you guys want to check it out, if you want to use prize picks and give it a shot, you can use my promo code Maddie for a deposit bonus. My prize picks play is under 80.5 fantasy points for Sergey Pavlovich against Derek Lewis. And I'm only taking that because I think Derek Lewis is going to finish him in the first or second round. And then I got the over a 9 minutes in the Drew Dober Rafael Alves fight. And I think that fight goes the distance. I think Alves could win a decision, actually. It's hard to finish Drew Dober. He has been submitted a couple times, but Islam Makhachev took 3 rounds to finish him. So I'm going to trust that Drew Dober survives, and I'm also going to trust that Drew Dober doesn't finish Alves. What are my favorite plays? What up, Guru Griff? Favorite plays? I like Derek Lewis money line or by knockout at plus 160. I love Amanda Nunes to get a submission win here. If you want to take something a little less risky, just take her to get a finish. But the submission pays plus 500 on most sites. A lot of people are still taking Juliana Pena, and she's extremely confident. But I'm not betting against Amanda Nunes here on a rematch. She's the GOAT. She's the female GOAT. I got to take her. And Pena looks pretty confident, so it is scary. But Juliana Pena in her last 2 losses have both those losses are by submission. So I'm going to trust that Amanda Nunes finds a way to get a submission here. She's going to use the jab on the feet this time. She's not going to just gas herself out throwing right hands like she did in the first fight. I think she's going to use that jab on the feet. She's going to get the fight to the ground, and she's going to submit her. And that pays 5-1 odds. I also have her to win in the second round at plus 450 for a half unit. Go Birds and Derek Lewis. Let's go. Only chance I believe Nunes has is a stoppage within 2 rounds. She's got more chances than that. She's gone the distance in championship fights. She's won in later rounds. But I agree her best chance is to win in that second round, which is why I locked that in. Alves has been finished. Yeah, I know Alves has been finished, but I like him to utilize the grappling in this matchup. Anthony Smith is like plus 400. So I think I think that would be, it's not a bad value bet, if he turns it into a brawl, but at the same time, I have Ankalaev by decision, which it doesn't pay great. It's like even money, minus 105, maybe minus 110. So right now, guys, if you want to get better quality footage, I'm streaming live on YouTube and Twitch. So just go on my bio, and you can watch the live on there as well. Twitch at WeBet Media or YouTube at Matty Bets. Love Derek Lewis tonight. Let's go. He's 0-2 in Texas recently. He has to find a way to get a win in Texas. I don't buy into the bullshit narrative that the pressure gets to him. I just think Derek Lewis has fought Ciryl Gane and Tai Tuivasa, and those guys are fighting for the title next, whoever wins that matchup in their upcoming fight. So he's just had 2 very tough. Ciryl Gane is the worst matchup ever for Derek Lewis, and Tai Tuivasa just showed that he has a crazy chin. I mean, Derek Lewis finishes 99% of heavyweights in that fight, but Tai Tuivasa just survived the onslaught. Thoughts on Usman versus Edwards 2? Leon Edwards is the live dog, but it's hard to bet against Kamaru Usman. But Leon Edwards is so good. He's so underrated. Congrats on Teriyaki Madness. I appreciate it, bro. Huge fan. Love the Birds. Let's go Eagles. Where can I bet on fights from Florida? Yeah, so in my bio, I have BetUS. You get a deposit bonus. That's an offshore site. And I also have Prize Picks where you can bet in Florida. If you want to tail, on Prize Picks, you can do 2-leg parlays up to 5. And you can take over-unders on takedowns. You can take over-unders on fantasy points for a fighter. You can take over-unders on significant strikes. On my Twitter, at Matty Bets, I did put out a 2-leg parlay on Prize Picks on 2 fighters. Awesome.
Yeah,
All right, we got a comment from YouTube. Ankalaev saw how Glover easily took down Smith and held him there. It should be an easy win if Ankalaev sticks to the game plan. Love him via decision. Great comment. I have him on a decision as well at -105. So I think that is a spot on analysis. I actually think he's going to use the leg kicks a little bit more than the wrestling. But I think he's going to use the leg kicks and kind of stay at distance against Anthony Smith, who's going to want to close the distance and try to brawl. Let's see here. Moreno TKO. It's possible. I'm going to trust that Kai survives and loses a decision. But it's definitely possible, especially on a 5-round fight. Congrats on Teriyaki Place. Appreciate you, Tony. Who you betting so I can take the opposite? Go on Twitter, bro. All my picks are there. You can fade every single one of them. Not all the picks are fadeable. If I have a fighter on the money line, you can fade it. But if I have a fighter on a specific outcome, you can't really fade that. But I did terrible last weekend, so if you want to fade me, then do it. Fade me this weekend. I will say I do like this card a lot better, and I'm more confident than last weekend. Guardians versus Rays. I don't know, bro. I'm staying far away from baseball. Yes, sir, the deputy, I got you. Guru Griff says Dober versus Rafael is a coin flip to me. 100% agree, and that's why I take the plus money on Alves. Accept your Eagles hat. Go Cowboys. I feel you, bro. Everyone likes the Cowboys. Well, actually, everyone loves or hates the Cowboys. I actually, even though I'm an Eagles fan and I make fun of the Cowboys, I really like Dak Prescott. I think he's a good dude and a good quarterback. Give me a nice long shot parlay for the UFC. All right, I'll give you one, but this is an unofficial pick, and I don't recommend this. This is not financial advice. If you want a nice parlay, but don't need a lot of legs to hit, just a couple legs, but still pays big, you could take Amanda Nunes by submission and Derek Lewis by knockout and Brandon Moreno by decision. You want those 3 legs in a parlay, that's got to pay 20-1 at least. There's your long shot. Who I got for tonight. So I got 7 plays, I think it is, on Twitter, at Matty Betts if you want to check it out. I got Derek Lewis money line, Amanda Nunes by submission, Amanda Nunes in the second round, Brandon Moreno by decision, Rafael Alves money line, and a few other plays there on Twitter. Guru Griff, you betting MMA, bro. I love it. Yeah, you jump on the live, dude. If you want to come on the live, send an invite. I'd love to have you on. I don't know if I gotta change the screen here. I'll just send you an invite if you want to jump on. Morales, Klaus, Kaikar, France, and Amanda Nunes all money line. I like it. I don't know if I would take. I just can't get behind Kaikar France here. I just think it's such a bad mismatch against Brandon Moreno. And I love Kaikar France. Like, I hate saying that. I really do love Kaikar France. Guys, I'm on YouTube and Twitch right now too, so if you want to jump on there, would love to have you on. It's better quality. I'm going to play some of those. Yeah. All right, coming from YouTube, Alex Adams says, is Nunes, Moreno, Ankalaev, and Morales parlay free? It's hard to win a 4-fight parlay in the UFC, even with favorites. Because think about it. Amanda Nunes has a great opponent. Brandon Moreno has a great opponent. And Ankalaev even has a great opponent. So it's not free by any means, but I do favor those 3 fighters for sure. What was that parlay? So the long shot parlay, and again, do not tail this, but someone asked for a long shot parlay, but it was basically Nunes by submission, Derek Lewis by knockout, and Moreno by decision. If those 3 hit, it's going to pay big because Nunes by submission is 5-1. Derek Lewis by knockout is plus 160. And what's the third one? Oh, I forget the third one. Moreno by decision. It's plus 160, and I forget the other one. Guru, what up, bro? Oh, shit, I'm not going to be able to hear him on here. Hold on, bro. Give me a second.
You can turn them up.
How?
Uh, we'll patch them in right here.
Give me 1 second, bro.
For sure.
Don't
Try talking.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go. We're good.
hold the comment. Or can you make him full screen?
Oh no, it's lagging though.
Yeah, for only in your ear. I wasn't ready for a guess, but we can try. See. We should invite him to StreamYard, like legit, but
Yeah.
TikTok invite. Just so that I can't get you with the lag. 30 seconds.
30 seconds, Guru.
You're fine. You're fine.
All right, some comments. Any underdogs today, Guru? You got any underdogs you want to give them? I'm not gonna be able to hear you, but you go ahead and tell them.
I mean, there's not a lot of ton. You know what I mean? This Derek Lewis underdog versus the Russian guy. I mean, the line opened up as Derek Lewis being the massive favorite, but then now the Russian's the massive favorite. So I actually like Lewis just on the value alone. That now that he's a huge underdog, or not a giant underdog, but he's still an underdog. But he opened up as a favorite. But I mean, there's I'm trying
I
to
can
think
hear
of
him okay.
underdogs that could bite.
Do you like Alves? No.
Who?
Rafael Alves.
Rafael Levis, yes, I do like him. I think either or can win that fight. I think Drew Dober is good, but I think Alves can maybe catch his neck. Maybe Drew Dober shoots him for a shot, and then he just takes his neck, and then that's it. But other than that, I think it's going to be a war between those two. Like you said, it's going to be like a coin flip, but you might as well take plus money. Plus, Alves looked good on the scale yesterday. I really like looking at the weigh-ins and how good they look on the scale. And the first fight of the night, this Orion Kosuke guy, he's fighting Blood Diamond. He missed weight by 2.5 pounds, and he looked terrible on the scale. He looked terrible on the scale. Now he's a wrestler going against a striker, so I mean, you really like to pinpoint on the wrestlers against the strikers, but looking terrible on the scale. I mean, it's weird. That fight's gonna be weird.
Yeah, I think Blood Diamond's like plus 175 or something.
Yeah, no, and I definitely thought after the
Yeah.
missed weight it was gonna even the odds just a little bit, but now Blood Diamond's even more of a favorite.
Um, yeah, I have a couple underdogs, but I actually think it's a favorites card.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. What do you think
You
about this
know.
heavyweight fight versus Dontel Mays and Hamdi Abdul Alabi? Because this Hamdi guy, man, I looked at his fights and he looks like he has talent. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, if you go back and look at his fights, I mean, he's fighting dudes in a bar. Like he'll pick up dudes in a bar and they'll fight in an octagon. So you really can't say what his experience is because and then they love saying that he's an Olympic wrestler. They're like, oh, he's the Olympic wrestler, and in all of his fights, he's not even using his wrestling. He's just using his hands. And I know Dontel Mays has gone rounds with Cyril Gahn, and he's athletic. So it was weird to see. It's weird because I mean I'm a freak. I look at lines like a week or two in advance,
You
and
got to,
then
yeah.
they change drastically throughout fight week. And I if I would give some advice, if you like a fight, go on Tapology, look at a fight for the weeks coming, and if you can get the line at a good line, it's way better than waiting fight week because everyone and their mother just waits till Saturday and then lines change throughout the entire week. So if you like a line and you like to put it out that further, Because I mean, like I said, Derek Lewis was minus 130 opening up, but I mean now he's plus 150. They everyone has juiced the Russian so much that I like Derek Lewis purely on the line. Not even
Yeah.
like I think the Russian is good. Don't get me wrong, but I mean to make Lewis a plus 130. What is he at plus 130 now?
Yeah, plus 130. And Pavlovich hasn't really fought anybody,
No,
you
he
know.
he, he hasn't.
No, I agree with you. So generally speaking in the UFC, favorites you want to lock in days if not a week plus in advance, and then your underdogs typically you want to get them the day of. Um, Now again, if you now there's some exceptions for sure. If it's like a trendy underdog and the line's going in the opposite direction, there are scenarios where you're going to want to take that underdog well in advance. But generally speaking, in NFL too, or really any sport, you want to take favorites well in advance before the line just lost all its value.
What do you think of this card? Do you think it's better than last week's card in England, or was it England or the O2 Arena?
Yeah, I think it is. Like, I think it's gonna be more excited. Now, there was no trash talking. It's like all these nice fighters on the card, but there's some good matchups. It's gonna depend how that Nunez Pena fight go, and the Moreno fight's gonna be electric. So I think it's gonna be, and it depends how Derek Lewis does. But I think it's gonna be a better card than last weekend.
They definitely need a good main event because last two main events, I mean, you got Aspinall hurting his knee, and then the week before you had Ortega hurting his shoulder. So they need
Bro,
a good main event. They need a good main
did you
event.
bet the Aspinall fight?
No, or I did, but I mean, I had not going the distance, so technically I won
So you
off
won.
of a fluke injury. But I mean, that's just so weird how UFC is because it's like you could win off a fluke injury like that, and I know you had Aspinall.
One of my biggest plays of the year, bro. I was devastated. If I'm
I
gonna
don't
lose
blame
on
you.
my
I
biggest
would
play of
make
the
that play
year,
any day of the week.
yeah, yeah. If I'm gonna lose on like that, I at
He's
least want to lose
faster.
the right
I
way.
thought he was younger. He was faster. He had all the goods, man. He had all the goods to win that fight.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And then the week before in the main event, what's his name? Shoulder popped out.
Ortega versus
Ortega,
Yair.
thank you. Yeah, that was I had the over in that fight. 2 weeks in a row in the main event. The main event fluke injury screws me. So I need to bounce back this weekend.
No, the last couple of main events have been pretty rough for the UFC because even before that, you had it wasn't the one before that, but I mean, I don't know if you had the main event. It was the 145ers. Oh my gosh, it was a decision, but that I think it went the other way. You know what I mean? I think the other guy should have won, but they gave it to the other guy. So, and that's
Yeah.
that's what sucks about UFC guys. If you're betting the UFC, you really want, unless if you're betting a money line, you really want your guy to win either by knockout or submission because if it goes to the cards, unless it's like a Khabib thing where he just mauls them for 3 rounds, if it's close, guys, I mean, I've seen robberies, I've seen things where judges see different things. It's a weird sport to get hosed on if you're doing like a money line bet because you don't know what the judges are seeing. You know what I mean? You could be seeing things like control time and damage, but they could be seeing completely different stuff.
Yeah, damage is supposed to trump all, but it doesn't always with the judges.
Well, especially in women's fights too, is that like if women's fights, damage really doesn't matter. If a girl gets another girl down and controls her for 2.5 minutes, I mean that's her round right there. That's definitely her round right there.
Yep. Are you taking Nunez or Pena?
I'm taking. It's hard not to take Nunez, guys. Nunez was a minus like 700 to 800 favorite last time. Now she's minus two. What is she? 275.
And last fight she closed over -1,000.
Yeah, so you're getting her at minus 275. The only thing that makes me worry is she's away from American Top Team, and that is a great gym. She switched gyms, and everyone's like, oh, it's good for her and all this stuff. But I mean, the training partners that she'll have at American Top Team compared to her gym, you just can't. It's not the same. You know what I mean? She's gonna get
Mm.
more training partners at American Top Team, but and at her new gym. But she looks in shape. She's talking the talk that she's motivated. I think if she doesn't get in a firefight, I think she wins easy. I think she wins easy because she was dominating that first round. She
The
took her
first
down.
round
She was
she looked
beating her
great.
up, and the first round she looked great, and then the second round she got tired and she got into like a who's bigger and badder firefight with a girl who can take a punch. She's got a good Pena's got a good chin,
Yep.
and it was just she got gassed. And but I mean, Nunez at -275. I mean, I know it's a lot of juice, but I mean, compared to -1,000 closing, I mean, you might not ever see Nunez at -275 again, guys. She might win this fight and then be -600s from here on out.
Yeah. So here's an interesting stat though, and I just saw this on Twitter a couple days ago. But champs that in the immediate rematch are 11-2. So
11
like
and 2.
Payne, yeah, 11-2 in immediate rematch. So, but it is Amanda Nunez that Payne is fighting. So I'm still going with Nunez. I like the submission prop at 5-1. I think when you look at Pena's losses, her last two losses are by submission. Nunez has 13 submissions. I just think she's gonna. I think it's gonna feel good for her to submit her after being submitted the first time around.
Which I'll be the first one to admit, I don't even think that was a submission. I think she was so tired that that submission wasn't even tight, and she kind of wanted out. I'll be the first
Agreed.
one to admit that, because watching that, I was like, how the hell did she tap to that? But the sub prop that I love is Pantoja. I love the sub prop for Pantoja because this Alex Perez guy, I think his only losses in the UFC have been subs,
Hmm.
and Pantoja's good. I'm trying to.
I think it's plus
I got
300.
Yeah, it was plus 350 the last time I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost to guillotine versus Davidson Figueiredo. He lost by armbar. He lost by another submission. I'm not saying that it's a lock or anything, but I mean I like that play for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
I stayed away from that fight. Everyone's taking him. Perez is good
oh, dude,
though.
everyone's juicing him. In the beginning of the week, he was like minus 130, 135. I mean, now he's up
Yeah.
to like minus 200.
Right. Tough fight. I
Dude,
stayed away
this
from a few
Alex.
different fights. I just couldn't make a
Oh yeah, dude,
decision
this
on.
Alex Moreno Matt Samuelsberger fight. I've stayed away from that. I mean, that is
I
literally a
took.
coin
I
flip.
got Morono by decision.
He could easily win it. He could easily go out there and win it. He's
Yeah.
been
Plus
balling lately.
225.
He's yeah, he's been balling lately.
Yeah.
Um, this Michael Morales versus Adam Fugue. I don't know his last name. But I mean, at -700, he's unplayable. He's unplayable. I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong. And this guy, this Adam guy, is stepping in on short term notice. But at -700, I mean, never play a -700 ever, especially in UFC.
Yeah. Where anything can happen.
Yeah, especially where anything can happen. But this second fight on the card is interesting. This uh,
Yeah.
Nick Negamoranu versus this Ihor Pateria guy. It's the lines were switched. The Ihor in the beginning of the week was minus 140, and Nick was plus 130. And then now it's switched. Nick is minus 135, and Ihor, because it's the same thing with these guys who are coming on the Contender Series and don't have a lot of fights in the U.S. Um, I went back and looked at a lot of his fights, and he's good. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, Nick has been in the UFC. He's had like 3 or 4 fights in the UFC, and I just think he's going to get it done by decision.
Yeah. I can see that. That's another fight I stayed away from. Let's see my card here.
I
In the
but
Ankalaev.
I like Nick by decision.
What do you like in the Ankalaev Smith fight? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. The
Anthony
Alcala
Smith's plus
fight, like you
400.
said, yeah, before like you said, you hit it right on the head. Any play, I think you got to go Ankalaev by decision.
A part of me is a little nervous about it. Like if Smith just tries to rush in, maybe Ankalaev finally gets a finish after 3 straight decisions. But I'm gonna trust my gut and just take the decision here.
I like that. I like that play, the Ankalaev by decision, because also he's minus 600. You can't play him straight. You got to play him in the decision thing, and that is exactly what happens when Smith didn't look that good on the scale either yesterday. He came in at 206.5. Then he did the box of shame, and then he made the 206 weight. But Anthony Smith is game. He's game. He's not going to go out easy. I'm not going to lie. I don't know when the last time Smith got KO'd.
That's a good question. Glover KO'd him in the 5th round. He lost the decision to John Jones. Yeah, I like that decision, man. It's minus 105, but I had to do it.
Yeah, no, it's minus 105 is not bad when you see a guy like that, especially.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, I looked at I know it's we're talking about this week, but I looked at next week's card. Can't stand it. Can't stand next week's card.
What's the best fight on it?
I couldn't even tell you, man. I mean the odds are terrible for the main event. You got a Hill versus Santiago, or maybe not Santiago.
Santos.
Santos.
Thiago
Yeah.
Santos.
I don't like those odds
Vincente Luque and Jeff Neal though.
Luque versus Neal co-main event. That's gonna be good. And I do like
Sergey Spivak and Augusto Sakai. Give me Sergey.
Yeah.
In that heavyweight fight. Terrence McKinney's on there. There's a few decent fights, but it's pretty light overall.
Terrence McKinney's like a minus 900 favorite. It's crazy. It is insane. Yeah, because I think that guy either stepped in on short notice, or I don't think the guy who Terrence McKinney's fighting is very good.
Yeah. I want to see what Sergey Spivak's odds are, because I would lock him in early.
Was it mine? Look it up, and I don't know if it was like 220, minus 220, minus 225.
That's not bad at all if that's what it is.
What's it called, fam? I gotta go. I gotta go to a kid's birthday party. My friend's kid is having a 1-year-old birthday. I thought I'd jump on.
Nice, I appreciate you.
Love talking about UFC.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You have a good one, man. Hope your bets hit today.
Thanks, brother. All right. Yeah, Spivak's loss was against Ty, and Ty just dogged him in the first round. Who do I got for UFC? I got Nunez by submission, Moreno by decision, Derek Lewis on the money line, and a few other plays all on Twitter at Matty Betts on Twitter in my bio. Moreno or Kai, I'm going Moreno by decision, but I hate betting against Kai Kara France. I'm a big fan of Kai Kara France, but I have to go with a logical pick here. Close call on that. Yeah, totally agree. Extremely close call. I think Moreno wins 49-48 is my prediction. How is Moreno the logical pick? He's got the reach advantage. He's got I think the cardio advantage. He's got the 5-round experience advantage. And he's got a really good chin. So I think he's the logical pick. You have Nunez, Moreno, Smith, all single 2 units apiece. Am I really an Eagles fan? No, I just wear this hat just to act like one. Yeah, I'm an Eagles fan. I grew up in Pennsylvania. True, Kai Kara France already lost to Brandon Moreno. Now, I think both guys have improved a lot since that fight. How do I feel about Blood Diamond? I actually think Blood Diamond is a live underdog. And he's at like plus 170, I think, now. So I don't mind playing him at all. He didn't make my card, but I would lean towards picking him. You think Blood Diamond stinks? He's a pretty unique striker. We'll have to see him prove himself here. But I don't hate an underdog pick on him. But all my plays are on Twitter, guys. Let's see how many I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays on Twitter. I got a plus 225 play, plus 600 play, plus 500 play, and a plus 450 play. All on Twitter at Matty Betts. I need a bounce back weekend here. Just put in my picks: Moreno sub, Lewis with points, and Pena the distance. That's interesting. Derek Lewis by decision is like 8-1. If that hits, that's going to pay nicely. Overrated because he's in city kickboxing. It's possible. Kai looked good in round 1 against Brandon, but as the fight went on, Moreno was picking it up. Yeah. I think Kai wins the first round again, but I think he loses the fight. Who you think's wins, Smith or Magomedov? I got Magomedov by decision. He's a decision machine. He's a point fighter. He knows how to win fights. If we get another first round fluke stoppage, I'm going to lose it. Totally agree. I've been screwed the last 2 main events too, bro. I had when I have the first main event 2 weeks ago, I had that fight to go the distance, and homeboy's shoulder popped out in the first round. And then last weekend, I had my boy Tom Aspinall on the money line, one of my bigger plays of the entire year, and he tears his knee 15 seconds in. So it's been a rough stretch for the kid. But this weekend, we're getting it all back. I can feel it. That Nunez by submission is going to pay nicely. We need Derek Lewis. We need a Moreno decision. I like the Moreno by decision as well as a dog. Appreciate you, Jagon's bets. Clay Peterson says, I lost a 6-fight parlay on the Aspinall fight. That is brutal, bro. I feel for you. I also had over rounds on that fight. I did have Curtis Blades by TKO, but it felt like I shouldn't. Yeah, shouldn't have won. He could have gotten it anyways, but don't feel guilty. A win's a win. It sucks when you lose that way, so you got to at least enjoy it when you win that way. Nunez in the second round is my prediction. No chance the 3 wars versus Figueroa has affected Baby Assassin's durability. There's a chance for sure. I just trust his chin. He's not that old. I know he's 3 straight wars for sure could impact it a little bit, but Figueroa has more power than Kai Car France. So I don't know. We shall see what happens. But what time is it? 1:20. But yeah, guys, I have in my bio, my Twitter is there at Matty Betts. If you want to check out all 8 plays, if you want to bet on the fights, Bet US. Huge deposit bonus in my bio, as well as prize picks, 100% match bonus in my bio. 2 good options, especially if you live in a state where you can't bet in the state. Bet US is offshore, and then prize picks is improved in most states. So I live in Florida, and those are 2 great options for me since I can't bet through a sports book here. Keeping to your gut and taking Moreno. I totally agree. I wanted to pick Kai Car France, and I have to go with Moreno. Just knowing how much Brandon turned up in the later rounds makes me confident. I agree. Do I ever do round robins? I've never done a round robin in my life. I've done parlays and straight bets. Yep, it's a 5-round fight. Kai Car France loves to show up when he's a dog. Totally agree. I took him his last 2 fights and won. I took him, well, the first fight he wasn't a dog, but his last fight against Oscar, he was a dog. And I took him on the money line his last fight. And then I took him to win by KO the fight before against Cody Garbrandt and won that. So I've hit on Kai Car France's last 2 fights, but I have to fade him here. I'm not even fading him. I'm just backing Moreno. Have to go with him. But all right, guys, I'm going to jump off here. Good luck to everyone on the fights. Let's hit them.